Do I lose aura if I talk about my childhood? I'm just kidding, this is not a sad video. I just know that I don't show my face and that makes me very mysterious and cool. I don't want you to think that by hearing about my childhood you know me, because you don't. Before I became such the nonchalant person that I am today, I had to reach back and think about when I used to cry to My Little Pony songs. You are a princess, you'll play your role. But don't worry guys, I pushed through and I'm only going to share the happy moments, which is why this video is going to be a little bit short. Life was good until it wasn't. I know now that kids develop skills much better when they're young, and I so badly wish somebody would have put a controller in my hand. When I was in the 5th grade, my parents sat me down and said, you can have a birthday party or you can have a phone. And I picked phone. I used my unrestricted internet access to Google deep fried memes and then keep scrolling down on images until I got to the ones that I hadn't seen yet. I didn't get into gaming until I was 15, and I have not been able to make up for all the time that I wasted playing outside. And when I say gaming, I mean console and keyboard. I was a mobile demon, downloading the off-brand version of any game ever. I used to download home design apps because I didn't have The Sims 4, Virtual Families, Blockcraft, Critical Strike, deleting the weather app for more storage. I didn't watch movies, I watched Mary and Dad's Minecraft adventures. I was an iPad kid before it was a serious detriment to our education system. Addiction was no threat to me because I am fully convinced if they could measure intelligence, I would be a gallon, because that is a pretty big unit of measurement. And I truly believe instead of playing on mobile, if I had played on mouse and keyboard, I would be pro right now. But on a side note, my headset dent's getting pretty bad. My skull's starting to feel like a bean. Going forward, it's important to keep in mind that the F students are the inventors. I used to buy snacks I didn't like, that way I would only eat them if I was hungry. I had a really bad chewing problem and a fast metabolism, so I would just eat everything I had access to and then be left with nothing. People always try to get me to chew gum, but it made me nauseous, so I would just eat the drawstrings off my hoodies. My parents got me a bunch of flavored chapsticks for Christmas, and then I slowly ate them throughout the year. I even had different flavors designed to different days of the week in order to savor them. I'd take one lick, put the cap back on, and be like, that's my treat for the day. My parents used to get mad at me for eating everything, so in my brilliance, I came up with the emergency snacks. I know it's not uncommon to eat all the snacks, but if you've seen one of my previous videos, you know that I don't like granola bars. I used to keep 3 or 4 of them bitches in my backpack. It was not just me being hungry, but a series of legitimate events that led me to always keeping something on hand. I got in the habit of whenever I would spend the night at somebody's house, I would bring a bunch of snacks and then not tell anybody because I didn't want to share. It happened a couple times that we forgot to eat, and I would wake up in the night hungry. Sometimes it wouldn't even be that we forgot. This might not be the smartest comment that I'm going to make publicly, but it probably won't be the worst. If you have a friend with an eating disorder and you spend the night at their house, you will be hungry. OMG, what if we went to the park? OMG, what if we ate? I'm at the park begging, please, please let Dippin' Dots roll through, hallucinating distant sounds of an ice cream truck. Oh, just go grab something from the kitchen, my parents don't mind. And my parents would beat my ass if they saw my friend digging through our pantry, so how about you go grab me a bag of fruit snacks? Forgive me if I'm not comfortable digging through your freezer by myself with the tiniest hope of finding a long-forgotten Uncrustable. I shouldn't feel like I have to take a shot of Ozempic before going to your house. This is why I bring my own. I just wait until she falls asleep and then I pull out the secret stash. The granola bar has been melted and crushed by the heat of my backpack for several consecutive school years. Granola bars do not age like wine. It's moldy, but I'm hungry. So yes, I'm eating around the mold, but I'm getting as close as I can get. She's sleeping, and I'm on the edge of my air mattress, soaking hot Cheetos in my mouth so she couldn't hear the crunch. I'm licking the pencil dust out of my backpack, and you're telling me that you are not hungry. But I can't complain too much. Dinner at my house was 2 slices of cheddar cheese with lemon, lime, salt, and a pickle. Reese's cup. This was my own invention, and I would consume this scrumptious delicacy 2 to 3 times a day. In my defense, it's not a very filling meal and probably a huge part of the reason of why I was hungry, but it's the best I could do when fend for yourself night was every night. You know the movie where the Chilean miners get stuck in the cave? That's me trapped at my friend's house. But obviously I can be understanding towards their situation. I can go a night without food. What they're going through is much more severe and unfortunate that somebody would even feel like that in the first place. Naturally, as you get older, things get a little more complicated. I remember learning hierarchy and economic trade from silly bands and loom bracelets. Not only did I have a chewing problem, I also had a staring one, and I don't blink that often, so a lot of people thought I was pretty weird.
Bon voyage.
C'est incroyable!
And Incrediboy!
Which is when I decided that what was really going to put me on top was my rap career. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Lil Dubs was on the mic. Before YouTube, my creative outlet was rhythm and poetry. Originally, I wanted to be a singer, but the issue is that I can't sing, so I just went with the gangster route because Eminem can't sing either, so I figured it would be easy. It was not easy. So I made an email, and I used to download free beats. I ended up retiring before releasing my first single, and by my first single, I mean I recorded myself one time, and it was so bad that I deleted everything and quit forever. If you think being a musician is vulnerable, try being a YouTuber. I had a couple of other pursuits. I tried archaeology by burying a time capsule in my backyard, and then I forgot where I buried it. I can only hope that whoever lives there now decides to dig a pool in the backyard and gives it back to me. And I'm pretty sure it's just my chewed up Polly Pocket collection. In my attempt to be a master detective, I classically conditioned myself into hating Scooby-Doo. Whenever I'd watch an episode, I would try to guess who the villain was before they told you at the end of the movie, and I would get so engulfed in the movie that I would forget the game that I was playing, and I wouldn't remember until at the end of the movie when they revealed the villain. I used to get so mad at myself for forgetting that every time Scooby-Doo came on, I would just be like really mad, and I just had this built-up rage. Scooby-Doo, the start of my villain arc. Maybe the real villain was me the whole time. I can't say I have many moments to share with you all. I was an incredibly quiet, incredibly boring kid. The only difference is that I'm an adult now. I hope this video wasn't as mundane as I was growing up. It's hard to tell stories about myself when most of my social interaction is from people watching or talking to myself. For a long time, I didn't know the gaming side of YouTube even existed, and I still consider myself fortunate to find it even though I found it late. And I still play the old games as my way of going back in time and being able to live out what I've never had the opportunity to experience. Boy, that was complex. And I also feel fortunate for the opportunity to be able to influence all of you to donate to me on PayPal and to follow me on Twitter to join the club. Thanks for 201 subscribers.